just slightly. They're a little real hot right now. And that'll be the first one. That's gonna go with an aioli. And basically I'll just make a quick aioli. Normally I wanna make this in a whisk, but since I'm kind of have the time constraint, I'm gonna go a little bit faster today. I'm gonna use an immersion stick and I'll explain what that is. I basically am only gonna use one egg yolk. And for those of you that don't know, an aioli is basically, it's basically translates to garlic oil in Catalan, what is it, Catalan, which is the Spanish, one of the Spanish versions of their Spanish there. They have a couple different versions. And so we're really gonna work with more of a tapa style meals today. So I'm gonna start with making the aioli. I put the egg yolk in there. I'm gonna throw in some garlic cloves. I roasted these earlier. I'm putting about 4 garlic cloves in there. And then I'm gonna throw in a little bit of Dijon mustard, which is basically another thing that's gonna help it emulsify. Emulsion is basically bringing the two things together that don't normally wanna mix. And then all I'm gonna do with that is bring my immersion stick. Here's what's gonna make my job a lot easier today so that I can get this done in 15 minutes. I'll add a little bit of lemon juice. It's just gonna add a little tartness to it, which is, you only need about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then I'm gonna slowly drizzle in some olive oil as I blend this. It's gonna get a little loud, excuse the noise, but it'll go pretty fast. And as I just blend this together, you will notice that it gets kind of creamy as opposed to how it was before with the olive oil just being clear. So that's our real basic aioli. I can come back here and just season it. I wouldn't put in pepper into this particular one just because the black specks will look a little awkward in there when you have a nice, smooth, creamy sauce like this. So I'll put this aside. That's gonna go with the artichoke heart, so you'll see how that comes together. The next dish we're gonna make is the figs. So figs are great right now. If you walk around your neighborhood, you'll see a lot of people's trees, that fig trees having a lot of fruit on them right now. This is a really simple one too, and it's delicious. It looks really impressive. I'm basically coming in here and I'm just kind of cutting a little X at the top. Then I'm gonna open that up and I'm gonna put a little bit of this crumbled goat cheese right in there. You can find this at any market. And then I have a little crumbled crushed walnut that I'm gonna put on top of that. I'll do 2 so you can see again. So I'm just gonna cut right at the top, a little X, just enough so it opens like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the cheese in there. Put that. And then these, I've already made a bunch, got it started, so you'll see what happens when I basically put them all like this. And I'm gonna roast those as well. But I'm gonna roast those with my crostini. So I sliced up some bread and I'm just gonna go here and add a little bit of olive oil to that. And I need a spoon here. I'm just gonna drizzle a little olive oil on my crostini here. Just make it a little nice toast. And then this is gonna go in the oven. Okay, so that's gonna go in the oven there. And basically when everything comes out of my oven, they're gonna start looking something like this. So I just took this out about 3 minutes ago. I'm gonna use a little manchego cheese for my bread here. And the idea here is basically like 1 or 2 bite appetizers where you can just kind of keep them around on your table and people can just grab a drink and grab an appetizer and kind of wander around and mingle, right? But at the end of it here, we're gonna basically just hit the figs with a little parsley for a little garnish, and then we're gonna drizzle a little bit of that honey that we got from the Maryland Magnum Center right on top of that. And then our aioli sauce would go into this little dish here. So that's our garlic aioli. And then we're gonna use our marmalade from the same thing from CISA. Normally, the more traditional preserve that you would put on here, it's called membrillo, which is a quince paste. However, I ordered that, I only do, because of quarantine, I only do curbside pickup or delivery. and I ordered that, and I always get some kind of unusual substitution. So because it said quince paste, it's it's a gel. They sent me tomato paste, which was totally not something I could use in this case. So yeah, it really, the other day I ordered broccoli and I got sliced almonds, and it was in the receipt. I don't know how or who's reading it, but yeah, they definitely a little confusion that happens there. I'm gonna finish the artichokes here with a little bit of Parmesan, just kind of sprinkle a little Parmesan on top, just to make them a little more appetizing there. And finish it off with a little parsley. So really, all of these things, I just put the other ones in the oven, and by the time the next class starts, those will be ready, so you can see how quickly we can really maneuver through all these. I don't have very many magic tricks for you, but I can make these things disappear. So we'll try and see how they taste.
Harold, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For the artichoke hearts, are you using? Put that in my mouth, huh? Yeah. For the artichoke hearts, are you using in water? They could be the marinated ones, the ones in olive oil. Does it matter?
Any of them. Just I would drain them. I prefer the ones in water just because I don't like any extra preservatives and things like that. Or if you can do them fresh, it's even better. But then you're talking another hour and a half prep time, right? So there's also frozen ones that you can buy that work really well. The frozen ones, the things with those is you would have to thaw them out, and then they'll have a lot of liquid behind. So you want to definitely drain that liquid and then kind of pat them dry a little bit, squeeze some of that liquid gently out of there. But these right here work jarred because quarantine. That's the beauty of all of these things if you think about it. I always have artichoke hearts in a jar, like you just said, in the marinated jars, because we love making pizzas here at our house with our kids. So that's something that's always around. I always have cheese and bread or some preserve. I always have some kind of fruit. In this case, it was figs because our neighbor has them on their tree. So I said, hey, this is a great idea for this, to try to get something that we can make that's simple, that's always available, and it's not going to be, we're not looking for those hard to find ingredients that sometimes some recipes require, and especially now in quarantine, it's so difficult to do that. Good question. Thank you.
Harold, it looks amazing. It's plated so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
I put a question in the chat about the temperature and time on anything that you put in the oven.
Yes. So the artichoke hearts, I roasted those at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. So those I had to put in early. That's why I did put those again right away, the ones that I showed you. The figs, it took about 10 minutes to roast. That was about 375, and that went along with the bread. So if you saw how quickly those are, and I would say they're about halfway done now. So I just put those in. By the time the next class starts, I'll start to just rotate it again. Normally the way I teach classes is I go much, much slower, and people cook alongside me, and then, it's like sharing a live PowerPoint, right? Where they're like, no, you're going too fast. Slow down. Go back to the last slide. It's like that. So this is a lot nicer because I was able to just kind of produce and show you guys the final product. I wish you can try it because especially these figs right now, they're unbelievable. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, really quick. I was curious, some of the products you were mentioning from CSUN,
yes,
are they available to the general public, or is that stuff they kind of produce for their own purposes?
No, you know what? They definitely are. I know they have them in this at the MMC, and they also sell them at the bookstore. And is Annette in this room right now? Annette is the director of the MMC. I thought I saw her in this room.
Annette's here.
Oh,
there you go.
So Annette, if you want, I'll stop sharing and you can describe a little bit better. That way in the next rooms, if I have the same question, I can do the same.
That'd be great. I would love to be able to purchase some of that stuff, support those folks. It'd be great.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have a link maybe as soon as, and my staff on, maybe they're in another breakout session. If I put the link in the chat box, will everyone be able to see it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yes.
That would be great.
And they were all developed by our students. And, right now things are a little tough, getting things out there. But I did receive approval for personally being able to ship them. So if you send us the order, I'll personally ship them to you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and they have other products that I didn't even have here. I know that they did do this chili, Thai chili sauce that they have. They have a few other jams. They have some sugar-free stuff because it is tied to the Food Science and Nutrition Center there. And therefore, these are products that were made by nutrition and food science students. So they are, they have a certain purpose to, and a certain, what's the term I'm trying to find here? They have a certain demographic that they're trying to, push and show that the fact that it's stuff that's homegrown, products that are basically coming from our campus there. And that's basically what the products are. Am I correct in that?
That's perfect. They've labeled them themselves, and so they learn
they have clever names.
Development and marketing, and so it's been really exciting. A couple of them, our honey was award-winning when first there it is.
Oh.
With our bees. It's very, we don't have a lot of them, but, we have plenty right now, I think, to sell for now.
Fill a few orders for us.
Yeah.
That's great. I can't wait to see the link.
And ultimately, they've been working with the business and marketing students, our nutrition and food science, to be able to market some of these products. And we do also have, we're not selling those yet, but we also have some wellness products such as lip balms from the beeswax from the products.
Wow.
Some hand soaps and lotions.
That's fantastic, Annette. Thank you.
Thank you.
Harold,
Yeah.
this is Bob from the LAEDC.
Yeah,
Excellent presentation. I want to tell you, I am not kidding. My stomach was growling and making noises watching you prepare that. I mean, it looks excellent. Quick question.
All we need is smell-o-vision, right?
Exactly.
We're coming to that. The 5th, we're coming to that. Yes, hopefully. Question, what kind of wine do you suggest with that? I saw you taking a sip. It looked like red wine. Is it a Pinot, or what kind of wine do you suggest?
So I am into more, I'm not a Merlot person. And I don't necessarily, I'm not a certified sommelier, so I'm not 100% sure, but I personally don't mind pairing reds with things that are a little lighter in, especially when it's a Pinot, like you just said, Pinot Noir. So that is what I'm drinking now, I think. Yeah. What are you guys having today? Did you guys make the drinks that they were sent out? I see a lot of wine.
Well, I'm actually drinking a Coteron from France. That's a nice weekday blend, Bordeaux blend, which is perfectly suited for a nice hot day. In fact, that's red. So, Harold, I'm with you on that. I don't drink reds that are typically suited for those purposes. So.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm more of a beer person too. I like to match food with beer as well. So,
Well, Bob, I'm a Syrah Pinot person, so we'll have some nice discussions.
We will. I'm a Pinot guy myself. I like all wines, but I prefer Pinot. I like the Chardonnays. Pinot Grigio is good, but you know what?
Nice.
I love the pairing. So wonderful.
Well, there's a great idea for an event, right? Wine tasting, Bill. I mean, there we go.
I'm all in. Next one up, we'll do wine tasting. Hey, Harold, you are fantastic. Thank you so much.
It looks like he's already been airlifted out of our room, so we'll have to tell him at the end. So you already all know the rules of engagement. Keep using the chat, and feel free to use the speaker view or the larger view to see each other. But with that, I'll just pass it back off to magician Alex Ramon.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
We're great. How are you?
Ready for the show? Yes.
We're
I could see you guys, so enthusiasm counts.
absolutely. We're really looking forward to your show. We just had a great demonstration from Harold, our chef. We're
awesome. Well, you guys, I tell you what, put your mics on mute right now, and let's get started. Let's do it. I'm just kidding. Welcome, everyone. My name is Alex Ramon. First and foremost, you guys, a couple things. You don't have to do this. I can't hear you, okay? So instead what we do is we do applause in sign language. Elsa already knows. We do applause in sign language, which means you put your hands in the air, you wave your hands like that, and that lets me know you're having a good time, okay? So make sure you guys do that, you're having fun for the show. And I want to show you something that is a classic illusion of magic. Now, normally, this illusion is performed on a large stage in front of a large group of people. But I redesigned it, re-engineered it to be seen close up. And right now, I promise you, you will see something that you will recognize immediately, but you've never seen it the way I do it. So, enjoy. I use just 3 safety pins. That's it. 3 safety pins. Here's the first pin. Now, if you were here with me, you would be able to examine these pins, take a look at them. They are big, chunky safety pins. Okay, they all start closed. First one, number 2, here. They are sharp, they are real, okay? And the third one, boom, okay? Now all 3 pins start closed. I'm just gonna lay them on my palm like this so you can see. They're both closed. Here, watch. All I do is rub them together. And if I rub them together with a little magic, they actually link together. Okay, I'll show you again. I'll show you again. All right, take a look. Look. With this pin, all I do is rub them together. And if I rub them together, they link just the same. All right, a little hard to see, I know, a little hard to see, so I'll show you guys. They really are linked. They really are linked. But if I just get a little blow, just a little blow. Okay, I'll tell you how this is done, okay? I'll tell you how it's done. This is actually just an optical illusion. You can do this too. So you grab 2 safety pins like this, and I'm threading them through each other like that. And when I hold them this way, you can't tell if those are linked or not. Your brain tells you, when you see it like this, to tell you that they're linked. They're not linked, right? They're not linked. I'm just threading them through. And if I hold pressure against them, this will be the convincer. When that 3rd pin is hanging there, your brain thinks, well, you're not touching it. It must be supported by the other ones. It looks like it's linked. It's not linked. It's just hanging there, right? It's not linked. But sometimes you can do magic and get them to link. Oh, a little tough to see, a little tough to see. So I'll give it a little flick and I'll link all 3. Okay, I'll open this one up. I'll open this one up so you can see it. This pin will stay open, and I'm just gonna hang this one here. This is the pin to watch. It's closed, of course. Here we go. I'm gonna link it here. Get ready. I haven't done anything yet. There you go, look. Here it comes. Get ready for it. Right here, I'm gonna link it. Get ready. There, boom. Did you see a link? Did you see that one link? Oh, you missed that one. Oh. All right, here we go. The question is, and you can let me know by shaking your head, yes or no. Are these 2 pins actually linked, yes or no? Elsa says no. Bill says yes. Alice, no. Bob is just doing circles. I don't know what that means, but okay, that's good. They are linked. They are linked, guys. They are linked, okay? It's not an optical illusion. It looks like they're not, but they actually are linked, okay? It's an optical illusion, like I said. That's the optical illusion. Last one, right for the camera. Don't blink or you'll miss it. right here. It's a little flick. Right on. Last one, the most beautiful. Here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Are there any questions? Good. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts. Everybody go to the chat box. Go to the chat box right now because this is what I want you to do. You are going to, we have, how many people do we have in here right now? We have 22 participants. I am going to write down a number between 1 and 20. The first person who types in the chat box correctly gets to help me do this magic trick. It's kind of like you reading my mind, all right? Type in a number 1 through 20, go. No, it's not 17. Really? Chris and Tatiana put 17 right back to back. Nope, keep going, people. How have you not gotten it yet? It's 1 to 20. This is embarrassing. You guys, come on. Might as well start from 1, work your way up. Really? Come on, people. We only have 15 minutes. No. Yeah, are you really? Keep going, keep guessing. No one's got it yet. Some person was 1 off. You're 1 off. I can't believe this. I'm gonna have to pick a new number. There it is. Tatiana, 12. Jeez, how long did that take? Tatiana, I want you to unmute your mic so we can chat with you real quick. Hello?
Hi, Alex. Yes.
Hi, Tatiana. How are you?
Hi. Good.
You're smarter than everybody. Yeah. Okay, Tatiana, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a card trick here. Normally, I would have you pick a card, but guess what? You can't do that. So instead, I'm going to shuffle these up, and I'm going to drop the cards like this. Anytime you want, you say stop. But when you say stop at a card, that will be the one that you pick. Okay? Yep, good. So you just say stop anytime. Your turn. Say stop anytime.
Stop.
Stop right there. Do you want the bottom card here or the top one here? Which one? Your choice.
Top.
Top one right here. Okay. Boom. What did you get? The 8 of spades. Very good card. Tatiana, I'm going to write your name on the 8 of spades. So you know that this is your 8 of spades and not another one. So I'm going to make sure I spell it right. T-A-T-I-A. Yeah. T-A-T-I-A-N-A. Tatiana, right there. You can see your name, yeah? Where are you watching the show from right now? Where are you?
Home.
Home?
Yes.
No, I mean, like what city? Yeah.
Oh, San Dimas.
Home. I'm just going to write home. Home, USA. Home, USA. That's where you're watching the show, okay? Home, USA, right there, okay? And the last thing I'm going to write is LAEDC. So that way you remember what it is. LAEDC. Boom. So now, this is your card, the Tatiana 8 of spades. It's dry, it does not come off, okay? And the one thing I'm gonna do to your card is punch a few holes in it. I'm gonna punch 4 holes in the 4 corners of your card, okay? Everybody gets really nervous at this point. They're like, oh no, you're gonna ruin the card. It's okay, Tatiana. I have more cards, okay? So can you guys see the hole? Everybody, yeah? You see the hole? And it's Tatiana's card, you can see the hole there. I'm gonna punch holes in the other 3 corners, okay? All right, so 1 down here. Good, on the other side as well. So 1 here, and 1 final one down here. Got it? Okay. So now, Tatiana, you know your 8 of spades has the 4 holes. You can see them?
Yes.
4 holes there. Okay, good. Now, Tatiana, you can mute yourself one more time. And Tatiana, this magic trick is just for you, okay? The rest of you can watch. But this magic trick is just for Tatiana because this is going to be the magic trick you're talk about tomorrow. of you are thinking the exact same thing. You are all wondering if this is actually Tatiana's ace of spades. And that is why I wrote your name on it. I wrote Home USA and LAEDC. Tatiana, this is your card. Mic drop. Guys, I hope you guys had a good time watching the show. My name is Alex Ramon, and thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Alex,
bye, everyone.
it's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're awesome, Alex. Thank you.
Well, I'm just speechless. I don't really have anything to say to segue.
You're not going to tell us how he did it, Claire?
Oh my God. Has anyone seen a trick like that before?
I've never seen that one.
No, not with the holes.
Very smart.
Very original.
Yeah.
It's always amazing how great magicians come up with new original card tricks after hundreds of years of card tricks with magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, oh, I just altered it a little bit so it would work virtually. It's incredible.
Yep.
Well, it looks like we have our next guest. We have our mixologist to close out. Yes. We'll just let you take it from here.
Awesome. I hope everybody enjoyed the last breakout room. Very excited to present for you guys today and talk a little bit about these really awesome cocktails. Pardon me while I start my timer up. So, hello everybody. Before we get started, I want to make sure everybody has a drink in front of them. I'm sure you do already, but I'm going to pour myself a little bit of Astral Pacific Gin. This is a gin that we make in-house here at the Spirit Guild. And the reason I want to make sure we have our drinks squared away first is because we're going to play a little bit of a drinking game while we go through this cocktail demo. It's super simple. Basically, anytime I say the words Los Angeles or imbibe, I hope you appreciate my beautiful artwork, you guys are going to take a drink. Seems simple enough. You know, I thought I'd add a little bit, up the stakes a little bit while we go through this process. So, like I mentioned in the intro, I'm coming to you from the Spirit Guild. We are a craft distillery based in downtown Los Angeles, where we make gin and vodka from scratch. So we actually take oranges from California, the orange juice actually, we ferment it in-house, and then we make a gin infused with local botanicals and a vodka. 100% local, 100% done in-house. This is actually our still right there. This is a copper pot still that's made in Germany that we make all of our spirits on. And I'm coming to you from our tasting room. So the drink that I'm going to be making all of these cocktails with is, like I mentioned, Astral Pacific Gin. If you guys aren't familiar with gin, essentially gin is a neutral spirit like vodka, or in this case, an orange brandy, that is layered with a number of different botanicals, primarily juniper. So juniper is actually the one botanical that's required to call it gin. And essentially it is most known for having like a aromatic pine kind of flavor, like a woodsy flavor. So with our gin, we're really trying to express something that has a sense of locality, that speaks to the Los Angeles landscape, and uses local botanicals, primarily pink peppercorn, white sage, and a ton of juniper, as well as cassia bark. Now, the first cocktail I'm going to make for you guys is called the Italian Collins. So this is a bit of a riff on the Tom Collins, really one of the most classic gin cocktails that is essentially gin with lemon juice, a sweetener, and club soda. Very, very simple, but in this case, we're going to make it Italian with the addition of Aperol. So Aperol is a bittersweet Italian liqueur you guys might be familiar with. It's the main ingredient in an Aperol spritz. If you don't have a bottle, I highly recommend it because it is extremely versatile. It's, like I said, not only sweet, but it also has a really nice bitterness to it that just adds a beautiful nuance and color to any of your cocktails. This is also a very, very easy cocktail to make. So first thing we're gonna do is add 1 ounce of our Aperol. Then we're going to add 1 ounce of our Astral Pacific Gin to our tins. Then we're going to add, oh, actually, you guys have to excuse me. I just need to grab a lemon.
If we're playing the drinking game, I guess everyone could take a drink right now during the pause as well.
TV. You never know what's going to happen. Anyway, so we're going to add 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice. So if you guys could walk away with 1 tip from today, in addition to picking up a bottle of our locally Los Angeles made Astral Pacific Gin, is make sure you're juicing fresh lemon juice when you're making cocktails. There's really no substitute. You know, you might be able to buy lemon juice that's pasteurized or shelf stable, but it's not going to taste anywhere near the same as fresh. Any good quality cocktail bar is doing the same. So if you're trying to recreate those great cocktails at home, you got to buy a lemon, you got to cut it in half, and you got to squeeze it. Thankfully, that's an extremely simple thing to do. So in this case, I'm measuring out 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, which, if you don't have a measuring device, is essentially 1/2 lemon, give or take. So that's going in the tin. And that's it. 3 ingredients: lemon juice, Aperol, gin. We're going to add some ice in here, shake things up. And strain this into our Collins glass. So like I said, this cocktail is actually called the Italian Collins because it's a riff on the Tom Collins, which coincidentally is also why a thin, narrow glass such as this is called a Collins glass. And the reason that this is ideal for this cocktail is because it uses club soda. It is an effervescent cocktail, and you want a small, tall glass for those bubbles to fully develop. That's also why a champagne flute has that kind of narrow structure, is because that allows the bubbles to develop as they go up the side of the glass and be that much more effervescent and that much larger. So we take our club soda, pour it over the top, give this a little spin, and garnish. In this case, I'm going to be using a dehydrated orange. We use this in our cocktail kits that we sell on our website because they're shelf stable and they're sustainable, and they also make a beautiful garnish. And there you guys go, the Italian Collins. Cheers.
Hey, Robin, I have a question.
Yeah.
Tell me again about that Aperol. Is there any syrup or sugar in there, or what's kind of?
It certainly is. Yeah, Aperol is a bittersweet liqueur. So it's I'm not sure what the exact sweetener is, but I'm guessing it's just standard like cane sugar. But I would definitely say it's a sweet ingredient. So that is the sweetener in this cocktail, but it is also bitter and botanical. So that's why it makes such a great cocktail ingredient, is that it adds a full range of flavors. So when you taste it, you'll get sugar, but then you're going to get bitterness. You're going to get these like botanical, tannic notes, and it kind of balances itself out. So it really creates like a fully rounded cocktail experience. And that's really, when you're making cocktails, what you're looking for is you're looking for balance. You want a perfect balance of booziness, of citrus, of sweetener, and in this case, effervescence. But it's all about making sure those ingredients are balanced, so that when you take a sip and you kind of take a step back, you want to go back for more, because it doesn't finish with it being too sweet or it being too boozy. It's all about balance, and Aperol is an incredibly balanced ingredient, albeit it does have sugar. Yeah. Thanks. So while you guys imbibe away and enjoy that Italian Collins or whatever it is that you may be sipping on, I'm going to move on to the next cocktail. And if anybody has any other questions they want to throw them into the chat, feel free. We'd be more than happy to answer. Or afterwards, if we have a few minutes, we can kind of spitball about cocktail culture and what we're doing over here at the Spirit Guild. So this next cocktail is called the Cosmonaut. This is another gin cocktail. And this cocktail was invented by a very influential bartender by the name of Sasha Petrosky, the late Sasha Petrosky. He was a New York bartender who opened up a number of influential cocktail spots throughout the 90s and early 2000s. And, when, I don't know if you guys are all fully aware, but in the last, I would say, decade or so, especially in Los Angeles, there's definitely been a cocktail renaissance in terms of places kind of going back to the classics and really kind of going back to an appreciation for the craft of cocktail making. So he invented this drink, and it's called the Cosmonaut. You might notice there's a bit of a similarity to a very famous cocktail called the Cosmopolitan, and it's basically a tongue-in-cheek play on that because it is not a cosmopolitan, it is a cosmonaut, and a very simple, purist cocktail in that sense, in that it only has 3 ingredients. It has our Astral Pacific gin, it has a little bit of a fresh berry jam. In this case, I'm using Bon Maman's strawberry jam, but you can use anything you have at home. That's why I picked this cocktail, because it's something that, you might not have a bunch of fun modifiers or like, Italian liqueurs at home, but chances are you have some jam, chances are you have citrus. So if you have a bottle of booze or a bottle of gin, you can make it. So on top of the jam, we're adding some more citrus. So we'll start things off with 2 teaspoons of our fresh jam. And hopefully you're using something that's good quality, organic if possible. And then our citrus, once again, making sure that we are juicing this fresh. So I'm doing 3/4 of an ounce in this case, which is roughly 2 halves of a lemon. As you'll see, if you don't have a measuring device, half a lemon is basically half an ounce, and 2 lemons is more or less 3/4 of an ounce to an ounce. Now I'm gonna add my main ingredient, our Astral Pacific gin. And in a simple cocktail like this, a gin like this really works beautifully because there's really nothing to hide behind. There's not a lot of mixers. It's just the jam, it's just the citrus, and it's just this gin. So you'll really get to taste the botanicals. And in this case, we really like to work local. We really like to source things that are abundant, especially in Los Angeles, like pink peppercorn, like white sage. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a fan of this spirit. So 3 ingredients in there. Before we mix it with ice, take a spoon and make sure you fully emulsify and break down that jam, because if you add ice immediately, it'll actually kind of harden the sugar and make it more difficult to mix. I'm gonna add ice to my shaker. This is definitely a drink that you want to shake very hard to make sure you fully emulsify and aerate that drink. So this is being served in a cocktail coupe or martini glass, if you have it. And I'm gonna garnish this with a dehydrated blood orange, but you could very easily garnish it with a citrus peel if you don't have that available. And there you go. This is the Cosmonaut, classic gin cocktail, made better with Astral Pacific. Cheers, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.
Could you make that with vodka and have the same effect, or is it necessary to have that gin?
You could certainly make it with vodka if you like a more clean, pure flavor, or if you're just not a fan of gin. I would just say it's just going to be a little bit more one note. Vodka is essentially by design a neutral spirit. So you're going to be tasting mostly, if it's a good vodka, you're not going to taste the booze. You're just going to be tasting the citrus and the jam, which is if you were going to make it with vodka, I would say it's that much more important that you use a really good quality jam, so that you're making sure you're not just tasting like high fructose corn syrup or something that's industrial. Go local, go high quality. Jam is one of those things that you usually are able to keep for a very long time. So, if you spend a little more, it's okay. You're not going through a ton of it. But I will say also, this is such a simple cocktail, and it basically represents a sour, so you could use whiskey, you could use a brandy, you could use tequila. The main thing is making sure that you have a good quality jam and that you're balancing that sweetness with that citrus so that your measurements are right. So 2 teaspoons jam, 3/4 ounce lemon, 2 ounces of your booze, shake, 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 and you should be good.
Do they spell it cosmonaut? Cosmonaut like the Russian astronaut, or N-O-T?
It's spelled like the Russian astronaut. It is. It's
okay.
This is an incredibly popular cocktail. I take it from Sasha Petrosky's book. So I don't know if you could order it anywhere and they would know, but yeah, it's Cosmonaut. Any other questions, guys?
Great, thank you.
If there's no other questions, Robin, thank you. You're awesome. Those were great drinks, and you were very entertaining and showing us how to make them. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through.
The chat's mostly people just saying how good everything looks and sounds, which they miss going to bars. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Going to bars too. Somebody gave Hendrix a shout out though. Scandalous. I don't know about that. The LA Economic Development Corp. You gotta be all about LA products.
We're looking forward to when we can come down to the Arts District and visit the Spirits Guild.
Yeah, please do. Feel free to shoot us an email. Please visit us on our website, and you can email info@the-Spirit Guild.
Back from the 2020 virtual LAEDC Summer Mixer. Hopefully everybody had a blast. If you didn't leave your contact information in the chat box or you want to, please do so. I was peeking into one of those rooms with my other computer, so I did see what was going on. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, but before we close out, I want to pass this back over to the chair of our board, Steve Nissen.
Well, thank you, everyone. I don't know how I could follow those 3 amazing performances. Really, really enjoyable. So I want to thank the entertainers, thank Shane, Colin, the moderators, and remind you that you can hire these folks. Shane has their contact information, and I think you can see that they're all quite wonderful. So you want to do a happy hour, you know where to find a mixologist. If you want to do a cooking show, you know where to find a brilliant chef. And if you want to entertain your friends with a virtual magic show, you know where to do that too. So creative, and really hats off to LAEDC for figuring out a way to bring us all together in this really challenging environment. I see a lot of smiles in the gallery view here. So thank you. Let's do this again.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you,
Enjoy
Bill.
your summer.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night, everyone.